3 ways WalkMaxxing will change your life. That's right, guys. I'm talking about walking. You gotta walk max. If you've never walked before, you might be a baby, in which case you're too young to listen to this video, right? But if you're an adult man or woman or something in between, right, you should start walking. Let me explain. 3 ways WalkMaxxing will change your life. Number 1, it's healthy. Literally everybody knows this, right? It's good to walk. It's good exercise. Exercising is healthy. Strength training and cardio are both necessary to have a healthy body and mind. Now, cardio. I'm a long proponent of the idea that cardio is for women and gays, right? But the fellas, the straight boys, they could do it too. Now, I hate cardio, right? I never run. I never cycle. I never, dare I say, boat. What is that? The rich thing that is sailing? Rowing. Thank you, Connor. Hell yeah, dude. I don't do any of that, but I walk all the time. I think walking is the best form of cardio. And the reason I say that is, sure, it burns less calories than running, but it also makes you less hungry, right? That's any sort of like sprinting, even jogging. You're going to burn more calories than if you're just walking, but it's going to make you so hungry, and you're going to commit the sin. Sin's too strong of a word. You're gonna do what I did for many years, which is run and then tell yourself that you deserve 1,000 more calories and then you actually gain weight. That's crazy, right? If you want to maintain a healthy body weight, if you walk all the time, it's great for your heart, and you're not going to be able to tell yourself a story about how you deserve an extra cheeseburger at lunch because you quote unquote earned it, right? So, superior form of cardio, right? It's healthy. And then in certain places like New York City, it's necessary. Now, I'll get more into walking in New York City in a bit, but for now, let me just say walking is more or less free, right? If you're like me, you got to put on sunscreen. Sunscreen costs money, but it doesn't cost gas money. It doesn't cost tolls, right? All is well and good. And got to think of it this way. Everyone can walk. Well, not everyone, but if you can't walk, you're probably not watching this video unless you want to, I don't know, unless this is like humiliation fetish. You want a guy that looks like Mark Zuckerberg to tell you how great walking is, even though you're wheelchair bound. If that's you, man, God bless you. I appreciate it. But most people can walk, right? If you're young, you're old, hell, you could even walk on crutches, right? It's the one exercise that you could do for almost forever, right? Provided you're not wheelchair bound and you're not currently in hospice care, which if you're in hospice care, like, thank you so much for listening, and for living. Are you still there? Just joking. So that's the first one, right? It's healthy. So walking, that's the first thing. The second one is walking properly has so many benefits. Now, what do I mean about properly? I got to tell you, and if you listen to my content, you're already familiar with this. I am a simp for systems, right? I love systems. I wake up at the same time every day. I usually go to bed at the same time every night, right? I drink 2 liters of water before lunch and 2 liters of water afterwards. Life is chaotic. Bring as much symptom in as you can, and you'll handle the chaos even better. Now, what do I mean by walking properly? A couple of things, right? First of all, you gotta walk to the right, okay? We have rules for traffic for cars for good reason, right? Because when you're in a car, I mean, if you're on the highway, you're traveling at least 60 miles an hour, right? Even sometimes up to 70 miles per hour if you're in the Southeast, where they have a little more freedom there, right? Or as they would say, right? So you could drive even 10 miles faster there, right? But because we're going so fast, there needs to be rules. You can't go, well, today I feel like driving on the left side of the road. You're going to kill everybody. You know what I mean? But it's a good heuristic regardless, right? Now, obviously, if you decide to walk on the left side of the sidewalk, right, and you bump into somebody, it's really not a big deal if you bump into somebody, right? Or if you do the shuffle thing where neither sure which direction they're supposed to walk in, it's not a big deal. No one's gonna become decapitated from that, but you look silly, right? So walk as far to the right on a sidewalk as you possibly can, unless you're in the UK or one of their former colonies, right? I know the US is a former UK colony too, but we separated before cars were invented, so we drive on the right side of the road, right? So walk on the side of the road that the cars drive in the place that you're currently in, right? That will make things 1,000% easier. That shuffle thing I just mentioned, I've never participated in it. I've watched people do it. They look silly. No disrespect. I look silly all the time, dude. I have bright orange hair, right? But you look silly when you do this little shuffle thing. Now, if each person walking, right, they're walking towards each other, if each of them stays to the right, wow. By the way, if you're just listening, you want to turn this on YouTube and watch this brilliant demonstration I'm giving right now, huh? Do you see this? Right? I don't know how to explain it with words. You're just, plus you want to look at my beautiful face, dude. So that's the thing. Walk to the right, avoid the shuffle. I do this everywhere, dude. If I am in a crowded Penn Station, which I often am, my parents, God bless them, they live, I don't believe in God, but I still say that. They live in upstate New York, and I live in New York City. So I'm in Penn Station every time I go to see them, dude. And Penn Station is full of people not knowing how to walk, right? So you got a staircase, right? You walk on the right staircase as far to the right as you can and hold firm. That's the thing. Because some people, they don't know the rules, right? So you stay as far to the right as you can. And by definition, you're doing nothing wrong. You make yourself as small as possible so someone can come around you. And if they're too confused about how walking works and they're cutting a left corner and almost bumping into you, you just smile and look down to show a little bit of subservience, right? So they don't take it as a threat, right? And they'll 9 times out of 10 say, excuse me. And if they are a cranky person, and this has happened to me exactly 2 times in my entire life of walking correctly, they will get really mad at you and you apologize even though it's not your fault, because we live in a crazy world and some people have knives, right? And that's how you walk properly, right? It has so many benefits. Another thing I got to bring up, dude, if you're walking, put your goddamn phone away. Excuse my language, right? You can't walk and text at the same time. It doesn't make you a better texter. I'm a firm believer in that there's no such thing as multitasking, right? If you're doing 2 things at once, you're doing 2 things poorly. Decide which thing you're going to do and do it. And then when you're done doing that thing, do the other thing. Okay. So what does this matter for texting, right? You got to text. Well, first of all, your phone needs to be on Do Not Disturb, but that's another video, right? You get a text. You're like, holy shit. This is my boss. This is a suitor. This is my mom. And she recently got diagnosed with 3 tits syndrome, where she has 3 titties and one of them has to get cut off, but they don't know which one yet. Whatever, dude. Someone is texting you. And you're like, I have to respond to this. You don't keep walking and texting because you're going to bump into somebody, and that's very annoying. What you're going to do is you're going to pull over, right? Back to the car analogy, right? Pedestrian traffic is the same as automotive traffic, right? So what do you do when you get a text? You don't text and drive. Maybe you do. You shouldn't do that. You're going to die. But if you're walking, you get a text, you find a nook, especially if in New York City, dude. We're busy people and we got places to go. You're in a major metropolitan area, you get a text, you get to the side of the road, you answer your text, you put it in your phone, you keep walking, right? And God help you if you're so afraid of being alone with your own thoughts that you can't possibly walk up the subway stairs during rush hour without scrolling aimlessly through Instagram. Holy shit. That is crazy, dude. Put the phone down. You could listen to something. In fact, I'm a big proponent of listening to music or a podcast during a commute, right? Especially if I'm walking through Penn Station, right? Because I'm vibing to whatever I'm listening to. I don't care how much pedestrian traffic there is, right? I'm trying to get from Midtown Manhattan to Secaucus, New Jersey, a terrible place, right? And I'm just stuck behind a giant line of people. And the funny thing is I could see everyone in front of me aimlessly scrolling on social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, right? While also being upset that the line is moving slowly. They're part of the reason the line is moving slowly. I mean, sometimes there's lines and they're inevitable, right? And sometimes they don't move quickly, but be the change that you want to see in the world, which is something Gandhi used to say, right? Who might have been a certified lover boy, certified pedophile, but he had some good ideas, and that was one of them, right? So put your phone away, listen to something good, And keeping off your phone leads me to my last reason why WalkMaxxing will change your life. And it's this: lowering screen time is king, right? I understand the irony here. You're currently listening on either Spotify, Apple Music, or YouTube, right? And I appreciate it, right? But you want to keep the screen time down. Listening is one thing, but staring at the screen, it actually changes the chemistry in your brain. If you're curious, read The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. It will blow your mind. Like, I know, cringe boomer take, but really it's bad for your brain to be on your phone as much as you are. I know it fucks me up on days where my screen time is too high. And it actually is not a boomer point anymore, because the boomers, in my opinion, are like the worst offenders, right? Even like a decade ago, I think like everyone in my parents' generation was like, these damn kids in their phones. And now they discovered Facebook, dude. And I was at Easter the other day. Almost everybody old enough to remember the Cold War had their phone on the table next to them during dinner. Crazy, right? I don't know. But listening to music in a podcast is good, especially during heavy pedestrian traffic in Penn Station. Very specific advice, I know. So there you have it. 3 ways WalkMaxxing will change your life. Thanks for watching. And do your best to be a good pedestrian, dude. Bad walking etiquette is a pet peeve of mine. And the next thing I want to talk about in this episode actually is also a pet peeve.